you're there at the whim of the owner, who wants the patrons to be happy. And no matter what sort of music you happen to be playing or want to play, the fact is you have that job, and you're only getting paid if you keep those people in their seats. So you either hope that what you're going to play is going to keep them in the seats, or you know what keep them in the seats and you play that, even if you don't want to play it. But that's your job. You're performing. End of story. In the studio, you are not performing. You are part of a group effort to support the producer and his vision. And you put your own personal feelings aside, whatever they may be about the particular music that you happen to be playing, and you do what is asked of you, and you do to the best of your ability. And if you are really talented, you can play in a lot of different genres, and you'll get a lot of work. No matter what your specialty is or how gifted you are, you put aside your own personal feelings, and you try to support the style and the producer that you're working for, you know, and don't make noise. Don't get noticed. just thinking. Don't draw attention to yourself, right? Just do your job and concentrate and do it as well as you can, and listen to the drummer. Listen to the drummer. You know, if you haven't got good time, you're not going to last in the studios, you know, at all. So listen to the drummer. I study the styles. I may not play in a country band, you know, on my days off, but I can certainly play like Floyd Kramer any day of the week, you know. And on the opposite end of the rainbow, if you wanted to do retro Louis Prima, I'm right there with you, you know. It's not a problem. And I'm classically trained. You know, Gene Page actually coined a phrase about me. When he said he needed classical shuck. Classical shuck, I was his #1 call because he didn't even have to write out the parts, you know, for me. If he wanted a piano solo and he wanted it to sound like Chopin, you know, he would just say, give me some of that classical shuck, you know, Chopin in that 8 bars, you know, or that 16 bars. He might write the melody that, you know, of the song, you know, what that he wanted, the line, but he didn't have to write out all, you know, the whole piano, all the chords or all the lines or anything like that, because he would just say, give me Mozart, give me Beethoven, give me Chopin. Boom, I was right there. I was the king of classical shuck in LA. I wasn't particularly happy about that handle, you know, but I became the king of classical shuck. Music is very generational, and it's been my observation that music is very generational. Why didn't my father like rock and roll? Why didn't he? Why was it that he thought Tommy Dorsey was just great, but he didn't like rock and roll? Because he was raised with Tommy Dorsey band. You know, I mean, if it was going to be popular music, I'm just pulling Tommy Dorsey out of the air, you know, as an example. But that was the music of his era. So when he played what he considered to be jazz on the violin, which he did now and then, by the way, I mean, just I don't know, maybe to show me that he could play jazz or something, it sounded like Busby Berkeley, you know, type of, you know, something like that. You know, it wasn't jazz. It was that, you know, that type of stuff from the 30s and 40s, because that was his era. And I think that every generation has its music, and that's nowhere more obvious now than the fact that there's been this huge resurgence of interest from the baby boomer generation in the Wrecking Crew, because this music that the Wrecking Crew played for that 10 years is the music that the baby boomers were raised with when they were teenagers. And so I don't think it's actually remarkable at all, because I think it's generational. Why are they not listening? Why are the baby boomers not listening to Jay-Z, you know, or something like that, you know, because or rap music or something, because they weren't raised with it.